lights are very bright. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kim Cagle. I'm Assistant Superintendent for Gilmer County School System. Superintendent Shanna Downs sends her regrets. She had to go out of town unexpectedly to handle a family, to handle some family business. On behalf of Dr. Downs, I'd like to welcome you all here to our dedication of the Ellijay Elementary School Auditorium. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming to celebrate with us. We have some special guests here this evening, and if you would stand when I call your name. Mr. Hefner's wife, Esther, daughter Rhonda, and members of the Hefner family, if you all would please stand. Mr. Ralph Cox, friend of Mr. Hefner, whose recent letter to the Board of Education sparked the beginning of this dedication. Thank you, Ralph. Current Gilmer Schools Board of Education members, I think all four are here tonight. We have Michael Bramlett, who's our chair, vice chair, Ronald Watkins, we have Jim Farmer, and Tom Achenbach. If there are any former Board of Education members here, if you'll please stand. Okay, former superintendents. I know we have Mr. Lex Rainey and Mr. Ben Arp. What? Where's Dr. Agopian? He was interim. Where's Dr. Agopian? Stand up, Dr. Agopian. You are standing. Okay. We are glad you're all here. It looks like we have several teachers that are part of the retired teachers of Gilmer County. If you're retired teachers or other school personnel, if you're retired, please stand. And current teachers and staff members. Any administrators, current teachers, staff members, if you guys will please stand. We have other groups that are in attendance. We have parents of this huge group of students that are going to perform for us in a few minutes. And we also have many community members. So we want to thank everybody who's here today on behalf of the school system, Dr. Shanna Downs, and our Board of Education. Over the years, you've all been a vital part of the success of our school system, and I've had the privilege of working alongside many of you here this evening, and like you, Mr. Hefner played an important role in the beginning of my educational career many years ago. We have some special guests here. We have Ellijay Elementary School students here to entertain us. Katie Mayfield, music director, and her choral students will perform 2 songs this evening. Take it away, Ellijay Elementary.
I cannot get over
now to introduce Mr. Ben Arp, former school superintendent, as our guest speaker. Mr. Arp was superintendent for Gilmer County Schools from 1993 to 1998. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Arp.
Members of the Board of Education, faculty and staff of Gilmer County Schools, friends and family of Homer Hefner. Before we proceed, I want to thank the members of the chorus for the wonderful music. I am especially grateful that they sang before I started to speak, and they're going to sing after I speak, because that way any mistakes I make, they're going to cover for me. You're going to remember their songs, not my words. Thank y'all very much. As I thought about what to say, I went back in time, especially when I was principal of EES Ellijay Elementary School and later Ellijay Primary. Homer was the superintendent. Each of us have traits that are easily identified. As I came to know Homer Hefner, I found him to have the traits of a good father. One of the most important traits of a good father to his children is to love their mother and to model that love to them. Homer so often spoke of his love for Esther. He said to me in private and many times in public that whatever he had accomplished in life had been accomplished by he and Esther together. Esther, Homer spoke to me of a marriage where each partner sacrificed for the other and for the family. He would tell me there is no selfishness in Esther's heart. I will never forget the words of love he spoke of you. James Homer Hefner was a native son of Gilmer County. Throughout his life, he had a feeling of wanting to pay back Gilmer County for all it had given him. He graduated from Gilmer High School with a class of 1950. He played on the first organized Gilmer football team. Homer was intense in his loyalty to his classmates and the members of the football team. In later years, he was inducted to the Gilmer Sports Hall of Fame. Homer attended and graduated from North Georgia College. Upon graduation, he served honorably in the United States Army, where he achieved the rank of captain. I believe he and Esther were stationed in Alaska when their daughter Rhonda was born. After being discharged from the Army, the Hefner family returned to Ellijay, where Homer began his 38-year career in education. He earned his master's degree from Western Carolina University and later his specialist degree from Georgia State University. He did much of this, spending many Friday nights and Saturday mornings in college classrooms. During his career, Homer served as a teacher, counselor, administrator, and ended a successful career as superintendent of schools in Gilmer County. Throughout his career, he was involved in many local, state, and national organizations. His expertise was recognized by both Governor George Busby and Governor Joe Frank Harris, as each of them appointed him to the Georgia Educational Advisory Board. Homer Hefner's goal in life was to improve educational opportunities for all the children in Gilmer County. When he was elected superintendent, education was facing a changing world. The age of technology was upon us. Throughout the state, superintendents searched to find a way to prepare students to compete in a new age. Through Homer's leadership and the cooperation of the Board of Education, they were able to make Gilmer County schools competitive with any schools across the state. Homer envisioned and created a vocational department that was the envy of the state. Other schools from Georgia and surrounding states came to Ellijay to study how Gilmer's program could be exported to their school. Homer traveled to many southern states to assess vocational programs and help set plans in motion for the betterment of students and teachers. During all of this time, Homer was involved in making Gilmer County better. He was a life member of the Ellijay Lions Club and served as the club president 1996-97. In 1999, he was chosen as Gilmer County's Citizen of the Year. The Ellijay Times-Courier selected him as one of their 100 people of the century. He served as chairman of the Gilmer County Board of Health and also as chairman of the North Georgia Regional Education Agency. After Homer announced his retirement, I was fortunate to be elected by the citizens of Gilmer County to follow Homer as superintendent. The fall of 1992, Homer took me with him to superintendent meetings around the state. He pointed out certain superintendents who had expertise in finance, or curriculum, or facilities construction that I might call on for guidance. Homer also carried me to the state capitol to meet members of the state legislature who could assist not just with school business, but who could be relied upon to help in the business of Gilmer County. Homer served as an unpaid lobbyist, chamber ambassador, and conduit and information between Gilmer County and the Gold Dome in Atlanta. Perhaps most important to me personally, Homer made sure I met the secretary for each legislature that I had met. He made sure I knew her name, I had her Capitol telephone number, and that I knew what was her favorite variety of apples. Because I found out during that time that sometimes it's apple cider that greases the wheel. This auditorium has been used by many things, and enjoyed by many citizens of Gilmer County. It's been used for a lot of school functions. It has been used for fundraisers for civic groups. A candidate for President of the United States stood on this stage. Music groups of different genres, and it served one time as overflow for the funeral of a military hero just a few years removed from his graduation from Gilmer High School. Mr. Hefner passed away on May the 18th, 2010. This evening, we remember his accomplishments that live on. We celebrate the contributions Homer made to the Gilmer County students and to our citizens, past, present, and future. The Gilmer County Board of Education is to be commended for their decision to name where we gather tonight the J. Homer Hefner Jr. Memorial Auditorium. I thank them. I thank Ralph Cox, and I thank all of you for being here tonight to share this special moment with the Hefner family. Thank you.
news that this group was picked to perform at a Braves game. We don't know what the date is yet, but next season, that is fabulous, boys and girls. And I think on behalf of Gilmer County Schools, I want to thank you for sharing this moment with us. And please enjoy some cookies and refreshments out in the foyer, and we will have the unveiling of the plaque. So I want to thank you all for coming, and please enjoy the refreshments.